Nang katulad ating kahit isang araw din ay makakamtan sa isang magsisikap lahat magagawa ng ibang hinahangat manali kong katulad na sa isang kapisirin may araw na sisikat din. Hindi pwede ang ipagawin ang batong pag-asa ay muling tatanawin. Bakit naman nakakatuloy ating makakaknan? Pustos ang pagsisikap, magbubuo isang pangalan. Sa isang banda may munting piling, Nais nang iparingin, pag-alala sa walang pangalan. Karunungan ay siyang mas mahalaga ng ibang hinahanap. Dahil mong katulad sa isang napisiling may araw na sisikat din. Aking bibigay ang ipapagawin, ang bagong pag-asa ay muling tatanawin. Bakit naman nakakatuloy ating makakaknan? Pustos ang pagsisikap, pagtutupad ang pangarap. Wala kang makakahadlang kahit pulos may tumarang. Kasi dagat lakas ang ating hawak. Naglis ng ating paglawan, patunay na ilangan. Nagalan ko ay siyang matutupad, halina't makinig sa akin, tamang kabalaran ang kahihinatnan natin. Pagbukas sa iyong isipan, tagumpay ng tatahakin. Isang pangarap na lubos, landas na iyong pagtutunguhan. Pangat na inaasam, di mapipigil ni luman. Maaabot lahat ng iyong inaasam. Kasipagan ng sagot, salat ka man sa kayamanan. Buksan ang pahina ng mga aklat ng karunungan. Edukasyon ating kailangan, kamamangan ating iwanan. Peace! Aking lilikurin, ang ipapagawin, ating tanawin, atong pag-asa ay muling tatanawin. Kinabukasan pag-ibahin, piliin mo gawin. Pustos ang pagsisikap, pag-asa ay yakapin. Edukasyon ang kayamanan ng kahit ninuman. Isang pangarap ang tutupad, pagsisikapan ng lahat. Pustos ang pagsisikap, kaya mo yun, kaibigan. Mabubuo isang pangarap.
The unseen enemy crept like a thief in the night,
smizing cunningly at people in their sleep. And one morning, took hostage of humanity by surprise as the coronavirus pandemic continues to spread its ferocious rampage the world over. COVID 19 took the different sectors by storm, and education was no exception.
COVID-19 pandemic shocks the world. We didn't see this coming. We were caught unaware. This has created the new normal, and we have to embrace it by addressing the challenges it brings.
Determined to pursue the delivery of education amidst the COVID 19 pandemic, DepEd Region 10 launched its banner program dubbed as RX Adobe.
The Department of Education, Northern Mindanao, has crafted its learning continuity plans under the banner program RX Adobe, which stands for Region 10 Alternative Delivery of Basic Education. It underscores the alternative delivery modes under the remote teaching and learning. The 14 schools division offices of the region have crafted the learning continuity plans anchored on RX Adobe.
Always ready for education emergencies, DepEd Region 10 will continue its tradition of excellence in delivering its services anchored on the department's Sulong Educalidad program.
As we pivot from access to quality, we have to consider a well-developed curriculum, improved learning environment, upskilled teachers, and take into consideration responsive multi-stakeholders cooperation. All these and more are under the program Sulong Educalidad. But on top of this all, still health and safety are the number one concerns of the Department of Education, especially at this time of pandemic.
Serving with heart.
Leading
with a heart. Envisioning with a heart.
Straight from the heart of DepEd Region 10.
education must continue.
Amihan ng Mindanao, pagkahiusan ng paibabaw. BigaTEN DepEd, pagpadayon sa edukasyon, mao'y tumong nga maangkon. BigaTEN DepEd, DepEd Northern Mindanao, for the learners then and now, we're always here to serve you no matter how. Pangarap natin abutin, pagsisikapan nating kamtin, kalidad na edukasyon para sa bata, para sa bansa. Kauban, kasaligan, kadampan, kadeped. Kauban, kasaligan, kadampan, kadeped. Ambihan ng Mindanao, DepEd Northern Mindanao. Ambihan ng Mindanao, pagkahiusan ng paibabaw. BigaTEN DepEd, pagpadayon sa edukasyon, mao'y tumong nga maangkon. BigaTEN DepEd, DepEd Northern Mindanao, for the learners then and now, we're always here to serve you no matter how. Pangarap natin abutin, pagsisikapan nating kamtin, kalidad na edukasyon para sa bata, para sa bansa. DepEd Northern Mindanao, amihan ng Mindanao. BigaTEN DepEd, BigaTEN DepEd.
si Ramon Gonzalez Abrera, aka DepEd Paulo, ang inyong Public Affairs Unit Lead Officer.
Ug ako usab si Candice Racoma, ang inyong rakista abogada aka DepEd Rada. Kami ang inyong kauban,
Kasaligan,
kadangpan,
DepEd sa
BigaTEN DepEd.
Atin
Atin to.
to. Isang masaya at mapayapa at masaganang araw po sa ating lahat mga ka-DepEd. Ngayon po ay ika-22 ng Marso at tuloy pa rin ang nating ipinagdiriwang ang buwan ng wika o buwan ng wika partner, buwan ng mga kababaihan. Good morning partner. Kumusta ang buhay-buhay natin dyan? Ano bang pinagkakaabalahan natin ngayon?
Yes, partner. Patuloy pa rin nating pinagdiriwang ang buwan ng mga kababaihan at advance ka mag-isip, partner. Darating din tayo dyan sa buwan ng wika na yan, partner. Anyway, eto partner, medyo puspusan ng ating paghahanda para sa nalalapit na eleksyon kasi alam naman natin na ang ating mga guro ay magsisilbi sa darating na eleksyon at tayo dito sa DepEd Regional Office kasama ng ating Schools Division Offices ay naghahanda para maging support staff sa mga pangangailangan ng ating mga guro sa kanilang pagsisilbi sa nalalapit na eleksyon, partner. Anyway, partner, balita ko ngayong araw na ito, bigatin ang ating mga panauhin at bigatin din ang ating pag-uusapan ngayong araw na ito, partner. Tama ba ako?
Nako, sinabi mo pa partner, makakasama lang naman natin mamaya ang Regional Director ng DepEd NCR at Officer in Charge, Office of the Undersecretary for Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development or HRDD, kasama ang dalawa sa pinagkakatiwalaan nating ka-DepEd sa Central Office na ipakikilala natin ng formal mamaya-maya lamang partner.
And in today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, we will talk about our teachers' opportunities for career movement, professional growth, and financial stability as underscored in the career progression system for our public school teachers.
That's right, partner. We will discuss how these professional standards will be used in assessing our teachers' performance, planning and providing them professional development interventions, and of course, rewarding and incentivizing our teachers. Ang lahat ng ito, mga ka-DepEd, at marami pang iba ating pag-uusapan dahil dito sa Kagawaran ng Edukasyon, Region 10, partner.
Tuloy na tuloy ang edukasyon at eduaksyon sa bago ngayon. Ito ang BigaTEN DepEd. Ating
Partner, parang naka-mute po yata kayo, partner.
Ayan, partner. Hindi masyadong mabilis ang aking kamay. Medyo inaantok pa siguro ako, partner. Anyway, just like what we promised earlier, ladies and gentlemen, and partner, we will discuss today the proposed new system of career progression for teachers. Heto na talaga mga ka-DepEd. Panoorin at pakinggan po natin ang pagbabahagi ni Regional Director Wilfredo E. Cabral ng DepEd NCR, who is at the same time the officer in charge of the Office of the Undersecretary of Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development, or the BHROD.
A pleasant day to everyone today. Allow me to discuss our vision for teachers' career progression and to introduce how we intend to realize this vision. We in the department envision that not a single teacher should retire at Teacher 1 by allowing them to remain in the classroom while advancing their stature and compensation through a career path where career options between classroom teaching and school administration are adequately provided. The career advancement shall be based on the quality of teaching practice and that promotion is self-paced. This vision became picturesque as relevant findings from studies conducted locally and globally. DepEd Teacher Workforce Study by PIDS, for instance, revealed that it takes a number of years before a teacher can reach a certain position or rank. Major findings of the study further showed that 92% of teachers occupy Teacher 1 to Teacher 3 items, as the median years in service from Teacher 1 to MT3 range from 4 years to 29 years. Another relevant finding from UNESCO shows that entry-level salaries of teachers in the Philippines is the highest among Asia-Pacific countries. The Philippines, however, ranks 4 after 15 years of service or experience. This means that the promotion in the Philippines is very slow as compared to neighboring countries. In similar vein, the report developed by Jarrett Guajardo in 2011, as published by the Save the Children, titled Teacher Motivation, Theoretical Framework, Situation Analysis of the Save the Children by Country Offices, and Recommended Strategies, correlates a slow pace of promotion with teacher motivation and job satisfaction. This report also cited the most critical threats to teacher motivation as highlighted, particularly in the Philippines, 2 of which can be addressed through this career progression reform. The same report provided country-specific analysis and recommendations with approaches to improving motivation, workload as commensurate as much as possible with the 7 motivational supports. The teacher motivation study by Simeon Inotek and DepEd highlighted that with teachers aiming for career movement throughout their career, opportunities for career progression should be made a viable option for teachers, those who want to focus on classroom teaching in particular. This includes revising the teacher plantilla system to provide additional career progression steps for teachers and master teachers to ensure high-performing and experienced and expert teachers are retained within the system and provided with opportunities for professional growth and development. At first, the review on the career progression system for teachers was seen as a response to the long clamor for salary increase. However, after digging deeper into it, issues are even more saddening. Issues that are systemic, structural, and cultural. In particular, and must wait for someone to retire, to resign, or die before a higher item can be available for promotion. And even when they are already have the necessary qualifications for promotion. The career progression policy that we are proposing is to make reclassification as the sole means for promotion. In that way, we create opportunities for career advancement. In relation to what I mentioned earlier, a salary is not commensurate with their qualifications as coupled with additional tasks that are not supposed to be performed by teacher. And this greatly affected teacher morale and motivation to strive. One of the main goals of the career progression policy is to boost the morale of our teachers through a career advancement leading to a commensurate pay for a reasonable work. On the other hand, core business is education. And we don't want to just promote teachers for the sake of promoting. We also want to uphold excellence among them so that they can pass it into our learners. While we feature reclass here, we must rethink how we do reclass. We want to do away with credentialism. Master's degree or a 10-year service does not guarantee a quality teacher. We must gauge it based on established professional standards for teacher quality, the PPST, through a merit or competency-based career progression of teachers. We can ensure that we can take care of our teachers' welfare and at the same time promote excellence in our schools. On being fiscally more viable, it has been known to us that an across-the-board salary increase is costly. With this proposal, we can assure that the government only invests on the promotion of qualified teachers. In addition, promotion through reclassification is also beneficial to the government's pocket. Instead of creating new higher teaching positions that can be applied for through natural vacancy, through reclass, the cost that the government will have to incur is increment from teachers' salary grade to a salary grade of the reclassified position. And along with this increased workload in the classroom and few opportunities for advancement, which has been identified as part of the most crucial threats to teacher motivation, we can now say that with this proposal, progression will be addressed and our teachers will not really retire at teacher one. But how do we embed the professional standards into the life cycle of a teacher such that career path becomes clearer and options become viable? By establishing the professional standards of teacher quality and using these standards in the selection, hiring, and promotion of teachers, and in assessing their performance, in planning and providing professional development interventions, and in rewarding and incentivizing teachers, we could guarantee that the quality of our teachers in our classrooms are of high standards. But how do we ensure the quality of teaching in the schools? We encourage teachers to embrace and have the standards as a way of life. Set clear expectation from teachers along well-defined career stages of professional development from beginning to distinguished practice. Engage teachers to embrace ongoing professional learning for their professional development to enhance their own teaching. Provide a framework of uniform measures to assess teacher performance. Provide a basis for building public confidence and in support for the work of teachers. The PPST is a framework for teacher quality that is attuned with the demands of the Enhanced Basic Education Initiative, domestic and global developments, the changes in the education landscape in the 21st century, and the desire to contribute more effectively in the delivery of education and learning. But how does career advancement happen? With sulong edukalidad as an overarching framework for career progression proposal, this is to address the challenging of quality basic education. It covers teachers' upskilling and reskilling among other pillars such as curriculum review, improving learning environment, and stakeholders' engagement. Within the pillar of teachers upskilling and reskilling, the main program of DepEd is the NAIAP transformation, which seeks to strengthen the in-service professional development of teachers and school leaders The transformation of NAYAP involves the upgrade and expansion of its staffing complement and the integration of the in-service professional development program through a stringent recognition process of professional development courses, trainings, and activities. Complementing the professional development of teachers and school leaders, the career progression proposal seeks to provide career progression opportunities. The teacher life cycle begins, as you can see in the framework, in the pre-service, and currently, in partnership with the PNU Research Center for Teacher Quality, is encouraging in providing technical assistance to teacher education institutions in aligning their pre-service curriculum with the PPST, Career Stage 1, or the beginning teachers. Our goal is to ensure that all graduates of the pre-service meet and demonstrate professional standards for beginning teachers. We are also in coordination with PRC and urging them to review the board exam test objectives with the end goal that licensure examination for professional teachers are testing and validating the aspiring teacher's basic knowledge of the teaching practice which is expected of a beginning teacher. Upon entry to the teaching profession, our selection and hiring policy in DepEd is currently being revised to integrate the PPST, which means that we will be assessing future public school teachers based on professional standards aligned with the beginning career stage. After which, we assess and appraise their performance based on the PPST indicators. And we have been doing that since 2018. The teachers' IPCRFs are already PPST aligned. We endeavor to develop our teacher professionally through the provision of L&D interventions that will enable them to acquire the necessary competencies as they go up in the career line. We will subject our teachers as well to the teacher induction program, master teacher programs, among others, all of which aims to improve their teaching practices on the basis of professional standards. And later on, we will reward and incentivize teachers based on their demonstration of the desired competencies. In this presentation, I will show you how we envision to promote our teachers based on their achievement of PPST standards. Currently, teaching positions only include Teacher 1, 2, 3, and Master Teacher 1, 2, 4. In this career progression system, the features of which is that there will be additional teaching position which will add more opportunities for promotion among teachers. This include Teacher 4, Teacher 5, Teacher 6, Teacher 7, and MT 5. It is worthy to note that we have been working with DBM on this reform agenda, and in fact, both agencies agreed to elevate the revision of the system of career progression of teachers to the President. DepEd has already drafted an executive order to this effect. Nevertheless, an ongoing effort in Congress and in Senate is also being done with Senate bills authored by Senator Recto and Senator Revilla, and in Congress by Congressman Strike Revilla. The alignment of the career line with PP stages is that it means the teacher would have to demonstrate the expected competency standards for them to be able to get promoted to the corresponding teacher promotion. The teacher progression also features reclassification as the sole means of promotion. This means that a teacher need not to wait for natural vacancy to occur for them to get promoted to a higher position. As soon as the teachers possess and achieve the expected PPST indicators per teaching position, they could already apply for reclassification. It minimizes the teacher to move to central schools just to get promoted, meaning through reclass, teachers can progress in their career while staying in schools near these residences. This again has been taken up with DBM already. In fact, we are in our submission of the draft of the crafting of the DBM DepEd joint circular for this purpose. The proposed career progression diverges at MT1 to classroom teaching and school administration career lines. This is to ensure that the specialized teachers and MTs and school heads come from a pool of highly proficient teachers. In this illustration, the teacher career diverges at Master Teacher 1, which means that the teacher is given a chance to choose between alternative career lines in the classroom teaching and school administration. However, if a teacher would choose between these career lines and they are able to exhibit the professional standards for highly proficient teachers, they can go between these two career lines. In terms of function, teachers 1 to 7 should concentrate on the teaching learning process and development towards greater proficiency and possible leadership roles, while MTs and school heads should take on instructional supervision and leadership roles. It is necessary that our NAEAP and accredited teacher training service providers should plan and provide L&D interventions that target the expected competencies in career stages. The goal is to move teachers to the next career stage. So what happens to the head teacher? All other positions that are not in the master teacher and teacher nomenclature, except for principal, will be retitled into equivalent SGs in the single line career path. This is how single line career path and retitling of positions is proposed. By rationalizing into a single line career path, DepEd intends to avoid shifting to teaching and school administrative position as in the current practice. This is to ensure that teachers' progression to higher positions are developmental and in accordance with standards. On the choice of career path, take note that at the base of the career system are the teacher positions, teacher 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. A teacher may be promoted to MT1 position. He may choose to be promoted to MT2 or school principal position subject to applicable qualifications and competency requirement and assessment. A teacher pursuing for promotion to Master Teacher 2 shall continue upwards in the classroom teaching career line, while at opting a career as a school principal shall continue upwards in the school administration career line. Switching of career line from classroom teaching to school administration and vice versa shall be allowed, provided that the individual seeking changes in career line meets all the necessary qualifications and expected competencies of the position being applied for in the career line. As earlier mentioned, individual seeking change in career line meets all the necessary qualifications and, as expected, competencies of the position being applied for in the career line, thus embedding the PPST to the proposed reclassification policy. Now, given those opportunities for career advancement, let us compare the current and proposed progression for teachers. How do teachers really get promoted? So currently, our teachers are promoted by two different modes. The natural vacancy, which the teacher has to wait for vacancy due to resignation, retirement, or death, and the reclassification, which is currently based on credentialism rather than competency-based attainment of academic preparation levels and experience as well as training. Under this proposal, reclassification will be the sole means of promotion. No more natural vacancies, as waiting for a natural vacancy wastes teacher capacity to take on bigger roles in schools. Reclass will allow us and our teachers to maximize potential and capacity. And that teacher will no longer have to compete with one another. They will now have to compete with themselves. They only need to beat at their last performance. And teachers can also get promoted at their own pace based on their achievement of teaching standards. And finally, teachers need not transfer to central school just to get promoted. However, reclassification shall be redefined to align the progression to higher teaching position with the achievement of the PPST indicators. The current policy is based on proxy indicators of competencies and credentialism, such as educational attainment, training hours, and years of experience. The current system assumes that as soon as the teachers acquire higher education, training, and experience, they already embody the desired competencies worthy of promotion. The proposed reclass policy will be based on the achievement of professional standards. So let us try to go over the steps for promotion. As reflected, there is a set of qualification standards for every position to amplify that professional standards are achieved. To become eligible for reclassification, a teacher must satisfy the requirements as presented in the table based on defined career stages. And once teacher applicants meet the QS for the position, they must present their IPCRFs that showcase their proficiency in the indicators as appraised in their performance. And the table specifies the performance requirements for each position. In terms of the selection process, the reclassification criteria here as basis for the selection process is as well redefined. Upon identifying all the eligible applicants from step 1, which is the qualification standards, and step 2, which is on the submission of performance requirements, the eligible applicants shall undergo the selection process to be conducted by the Human Resource Merit Promotion and Selection Board in the school's division offices. The selection criteria is presented, and the HRMPSB shall rank the applicant based on the total score obtained and prepare a teacher for the competency reclassification list, which will then be submitted to DBM for approval subject to availability of funds. So as you can see here, all qualified applicants who have been ranked shall be provided with the result of their scores as obtained, and as mentioned, it should be submitted to DBM. the HRMPSB shall submit to the budget officer the comparative assessment result for reclassification, and with the budget cut-off of the SDO applications who were not accommodated or which were not accommodated in the current fiscal year shall be prioritized in the next budget year. But where are we now in terms of this career progression proposal? In the career progression roadmap, we are still on policy framework, and we have already, as mentioned, drafted the executive order and submitted, even prepared DBM DepEd joint circular, the qualification standards, and DepEd reclass policy, and onward to phase 1 implementation for 2022. And to note as well that in the phase 1 implementation, since the career progression is primarily anchored on PPST and RPMS, and since it requires a 3-year cycle for a teacher to complete the 37 indicators, it will therefore take at least 3 years to move from one career stage to another. And during this period, we'll be able to gauge whether the system is working and identify possible areas for intervention and improvement. And we also take this as an opportunity to study as well whether it would be wise to inject another major change in the system, drawing further focus on school heads. When adequate funding is provided to ensure that there is enough master teachers and bolster the number of master teachers that can provide enough instructional supervision, looking forward to having a 1:5 master teacher to teacher ratio, and the teachers can remain in the teaching career line while advancing in stature and compensation, and teachers and principals complement each other and given equal prestige and recognition. School principals come from the pool of highly proficient master teachers. The PPSH is integrated in the HR systems such as professional development and leadership programs, the RPMS, promotion and or reclassification, support and non-teaching positions are created in schools to relieve teachers and school heads of ancillary functions. Classroom teachers concentrate on teaching and learning process. Master teachers perform instructional, supervision, and technical assistance, and school principals concentrate on school management and operations. With all of that, we're looking at sulong de kalidad with gurong de kalidad. We look forward to having the career progression really implemented and operationalized. With all of that, thank you very much. Once again, a pleasant day to all. Thank you.
Ayan po, marami pong salamat muli kay Regional Director Wilfredo E. Cabral ng DepEd NCR at Officer in Charge Office of the Undersecretary, Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development. Bago po natin kakapanayamin ang ating dalawang bisita, mga ka-DepEd at ka-DepEdrada, shout out muna tayo sa ating mga viewers ngayon, direct, para hindi ko makita yung ano. O, tingnan natin kung sino yung mga nanonood sa atin ngayon. Hindi ko pa po mabasa direct. Ayan. Pwede po muna. Ayan. Ulit. Ayan. Ayun, yung kapatid ko. Greetings watching from Baltimore, Maryland. Yung kapatid ko si Grace Abrera Galarpe. Ayan. Direct, konti pa direct. Ayan. SGOD, HRD, maayong buntag sa tanan, Misamis Occidental Division. Ito naman po, mula kay Leonila Plazos, watching from Luyungan High School, Malaybalay City Division. Salamat po. At mula naman kay El Joan Tagayon Ondona, good morning mga ka-DepEd, watching from Division of Misamis Occidental. At mula naman kay, kanino ba? Ayan, Rebecca Pasanting Bokter, watching here from Liangan National High School. Partner?
Yes, partner. Meron din tayong galing kay Lynn Valin. Good morning mga ka-DepEd watching from SDO Malaybalay City. And we also have Rino Tadashi, ka-DepEd Oroqueta, Rise and Shine. And we also say good morning to Rai Rai. Good morning watching from Malaubang Integrated School, Ozamis City Division. And we have Miss Jennifer Lambekit. Good morning, everyone. Heart, heart, heart. And we also say hi to Justoni Garcia de Asis. Good morning, watching from Pontevedra, Negros Occidental, Philippines. Ayan, partner.
Ayan, mula naman po kay, kanino to? Kay Ligaya Porquillo, watching from Dangcaga National High School, Senior High School. Ayan. Good morning po from Ado Lianita Hernando. Good morning to everyone watching from DepEd Misor, Claveria Northeast. Salamat po. Mula naman po kay May L. Tahud. Good morning, watching from South City Central School, Division of Cagayan de Oro City. Napakalayo. Elizabeth Horanio Makabudbod. Good morning, watching from Puerto Elementary School. At mula naman kay ayan, Raymunda Joromat Ondong Uy, watching from Doña Consuelo Elementary School, Ozamis City. Partner?
Yes, partner. We also say good morning to Miss Aurora Gonzalez. Thanks for the information, sir. Looking forward for this. And then we also say hi to NN Lin. Good morning to all. Happily watching at Puerto Elementary School. God bless everyone. And we also say hi to Eclair ML. Magandang buhay, watching from Ozamis City Division. And we have Suzette Habla Dublas, watching from the division of Malaybalay City. Good day, mga ka-DepEd. And we have Mamon Galos Kalina, watching from NEAP Region 10 sa Walay Pabor-Pabor, partner. And meron pa ba?
Ayun, mga
Ayun.
partner, babasahin natin yung mga greetings via DepEd Philippines, pero mamaya yan, okay? Ngayon naman po, mga ka-DepEd, makakasama natin ngayon live na live ang Project Development Officer 5 ng DepEd Central Office BHROD HRDD, si Ma'am Cecil A. Anyayahan. Hello po, Ma'am Cecil. Magandang umaga po.
Maayong buntag. Good morning po, Region 10, and we're very happy and privileged to be part of this program.
Ayan, thank you, Ma'am Cecil. Partner?
Yes, partner and mga ka-DepEd, kasama rin natin ngayon si Ma'am Ruby Chanda J. Crisostomo, Project Development Officer 3 and the Career Progression System Focal Person also from DepEd Central Office, BHROD, HRDD. Good morning po, Ma'am Cecil and Ma'am Chanda. Welcome to the program. Marami pong salamat sa inyong pagpapaunlak sa amin ngayong umaga.
Magandang umaga po sa lahat.
Partner, umpisahan na natin, partner, yung tanong, ang dami kasing tanong natin dito, no? Gusto nating bigyang liwanag, tama ba? Yung mga katanungan ng ating mga guro. Partner?
Yes, partner, umpisahan na natin. Ang unang tanong is, in the new system of career progression, yan ang ating pag-uusapan naman natin ngayong umaga. Now, we can see that the general direction is to move towards merit-based and quality-based promotion. Now, how do we ensure that this will really be operationalized in the ground? How will it be perhaps reflected in our recruitment and selection processes po, mga ma'am?
Hello. Good morning po ulit, and Sir Paulo, no? Magandang umaga po. To answer the question, talagang yung direction po talaga ng department natin is to really embed yung ating PPST, yung professional standards in our HR processes. And we intend to really embed it also in the career progression of our teachers. Uumpisahan ko po yung sagot ko sa ating qualification standards. Kung mapapansin nyo po yung QS natin ngayon, for example, yung Master Teacher 2, position-based po yung QS natin. Kumbaga po, para ikaw maka-apply sa Master Teacher 2, kailangan meron kang 1 year as Master Teacher 1. Tama po ba, Sir Paulo? Or 4 years as Master Teacher 3. In our new process po, yung pinopropose natin na process, talagang magiging competency-based na. Hindi na titingnan kung ilang taon tayo, no? Hindi na siya position-based, rather yung competencies na po, yung demonstration of the professional standards na po, yung magiging basihan natin para tayo maka-apply sa position na gusto natin applyan. Pangalawa po, no, we are also trying to embed the standards in our other HR processes sa ating performance, sa ating L&D, and later on sa promotion po or reclassification ng teachers, no. Since 2017, if I recall, no, nung nilabas yung ating PPST, we already started embedding the standards in the IPCRF of our teachers. And we are very happy po, we are excited na today din po yung ating live stream din po nung year 3, yung completion of the 37 indicators sa ating RPMS. And after that, masasabi na talaga natin na kumpleto na yung 37 indicators sa PPST or sa RPMS ng ating teachers. NAIAP is also, sabi nga po ni Yusek Willie kanina, no, NAIAP is also striving to integrate the standards in their professional development interventions. And all of these things po, ito po ang magko-complement sa promotion natin o sa career progression ng ating teachers. The training, the performance will be given corresponding points sa promotion ng ating mga teachers. Sa presentation po ni Yusek Willie, nakita po natin na isa sa mga criteria is the training, the NAIAP recognized training, and at the same time, nandun po din po yung performance. And later on, no, yung ating HRMPSB sa division level will assess the teacher applicants based on classroom observable indicators, through classroom observation, no, and non-classroom observable indicators through their portfolio. Ngayon po, ang sigurado ako ang itatanong ni Attorney Rada later on is, paano naman natin ma-ensure na ang ating mga HRMPSB ay alam kung paano yung tamang assessment, no? Our team po sa BHROD is actually working with RCTQ and National Technical Working Group to train, no? Ang goal natin is to train our HRMPSBs for them to be able to consistently and objectively assess talaga our teacher applicants, for them to be able to recognize and mitigate bias and make an objective na judgment dun sa competencies ng ating mga teacher applicants. Salamat po, Attorney Rada, for that question.
Ayan. Ma'am Chanda, in the presentation earlier po of Yusek Willie Cabral, nasabi po na yung teachers will be promoted as soon as they are ready. Kailan po ba natin talaga masasabi na handa na yung mga teachers natin? Will the promotion be automatic as soon as they meet the desired proficiency po?
Yes, lagi namin natatanggap yung mga tanong na yan, Sir Paulo. Salamat po for the opportunity na linawin po ito sa ating mga nanonood. No? As mentioned po ni Yusek Willie kanina, meron pong 3-step formula or 3-step po yung ating process. The first one is the teacher should be able to meet the minimum requirements based on QS, yung ating education, training, experience, and eligibility. After that, titingnan po natin yung performance ng teacher, no? Sa ating IPCRF, ina-assess po natin doon, di ba po, kada PPST indicator. So, as soon as namimit po natin yung desired PPST proficiency through our performance, si teacher po pwede na siya mag-proceed doon sa ating HRMPSB assessment, kung saan po sila mag-undergo ng classroom observation, document review, interviews, portfolio assessment, and after that po, meron pa rin po tayong registry of qualified applicants or ating comparative assessment result. And based on that ranking, no, titingnan natin kung ilan dun yung makakapasok sa budget. Sabi nga natin, every year naman meron talagang pondo na allocated for each region, for each division, devoted for the reclassification of our teachers. So hindi po ito automatic. Just to answer po outrightly yung question ni Sir Paulo, hindi po siya automatic. It's still budget driven, pero magkakaroon po tayo ng mas malinaw na proseso at mekanismo kung paano po natin ina-allot yung budget natin for the following year. So, yung mga hindi naman po ma-accommodate for a specific year will be prioritized in the succeeding year po na reclassification.
Ayan, thank you, partner.
Ayan, partner, meron akong na-catch doon na isang word or isang phrase yung sinabi ni ma'am na budget cut-off. Now, ma'am, now that you mentioned the budget cut-off, we all know that the annual budget for reclass is limited, of course, per regional office or per SDO. Now, how will this affect our advocacy for self-placed promotion through reclass? Perhaps, how does the department plan to accommodate all teachers who can show readiness for the promotion?
Yes, Attorney Rad, salamat po, no. Medyo masalimuot po talagang usapin kapag pera na po yung pinag-uusapan mo, Attorney. Pero yun po, no, gaya ng sabi ko po kanina, kami po sa BHROD is already working with our planning and budget divisions to set up a mechanism on how to better allocate our budget for each year, no? Yung forecasting po natin ng budget ay mas data-driven at mas evidence-based sana po ito, no? And doing that, we are already working with our ICTS to have an information system that will collect all the performance data of our teachers nationwide and generate an information of how many teachers na ba talaga ang ready to take on higher positions every year. So in that database po makikita natin, medyo mafo-foresee na po natin, magkakaroon na tayo ng tamang forecasting kung ilan pong teachers na ang bibigyan natin ng allocation or budget allocation for reclass for each year. So magkakaroon na tayo ng better, no, mas data driven at evidence based na planning and budgeting. And at the same time po, in this process, we are also giving opportunity to our regions, to our divisions to participate in the planning and budgeting. Kasi ito pong database na binabanggit ko po is ang data nito ay makukuha din sa division, pwede din pong ma-generate sa region, pwede din pong sa central office. But in that process po of planning and budgeting, the budget proposals po for every year will come from our field offices. Salamat po.
Ayan. Thank you very much, Ma'am Chanda. This time naman po, kausapin natin si Ma'am Cecil. Tama po ba, Ma'am Cecil? When will this new policy be effective po? When will the new teaching positions of Teacher 4, 5, 6, 7, and MT5 be available po para sa ating mga teachers, Ma'am Cecil?
Okay, thank you Sir Paolo, no. Similar to usaping kaperahan when it comes to budgeting, no. Marami rin po nagtatanong na kailan talaga, no, because it's like been I think 2 years already, no. To be honest, no, we're on the last phase of dealing with, no. The executive order has been submitted already to the Office of the President. In fact, undergoing review na po, no, completing the staff work for the Office of the President. And last comment na lang po that we are sorting out with other agencies is yun po sa sa Professional Regulation Commission, no, about their stake on this proposal. So the Office of the President is indeed ensuring na all agencies po involved are consulted and at the same time wala pong magiging problema on this one. On the other hand of that, no, we are indeed optimistic that this executive order or this policy about the career progression will be prioritized by this administration, no? Kasi malapit na rin po ang eleksyon. And isa po ito sa I think priority po ng Administrasyong Duterte, no, as far as his commitment, no, to our teachers and part ito na ang instruction of course, no, to the executive agency, including our secretary, and one of the priority policy indeed of Secretary Briones' administration. So we're looking like how many months? So hopefully po, no, hopefully po, we'll have this career progression signed before yung end of term of this administration. So lahat po kami ay patuloy na nagsisumigasig po na masign itong policy ito and doing all our part, no, to make sure that the policy will be signed anytime soon po. So
Ayan.
siguro yun muna, sir.
Yes, sana Ma'am Cecil, ano? Partner,
Yes, partner. Yung mga notes na binigay mo sa akin kanina, paulit-ulit kong binabasa kasi meron po ako nakikitang teacher 4, teacher 5, teacher 6. Kami dito sa legal unit, pag gumagawa kami ng certificate of no pending case, hanggang teacher 3 lang talaga yung ginagawa namin. So talagang inulit-ulit ko. Now, anyway, Ma'am Cecil, under this new system, yung promotion ba ay magiging ladderized or are the teachers allowed to jump to positions beyond the 3 salary grade rule? O, di ba, partner, meron palang 3 salary grade rule. Ang alam lang natin, yung 3-month rule ni Popoy at saka ni Basha, meron palang 3 salary grade rule. Say, for example, Ma'am Cecil, from teacher 4 to master teacher 1, pwede po ba yon?
Okay, so as mentioned by Chanda kanina, no, and I think it was elaborated then by the presentation of Undersecretary Cabral, that in essence, no, you can be promoted as soon as you are ready, no, but subject to some reclass procedure, no. Yun yung na-mention natin na 3 steps, no. So, and in the context of DepEd, technically we have 2 processes of getting promoted, diba? Number 1 is through natural vacancy, and then the second one is through reclassification through ERF. So in this proposal, ima-maximize natin, and the sole means of promotion will be the reclass. And in the reclass, which is a DBM process side yan, so in the reclass, technically, the 3 salary grades will not apply, no, since the process is a DBM reclass process. But, no, this is a disclaimer. So, in between, no, within the career stage, di ba, meron tayong career stage of beginning, proficient, and highly proficient. Teachers can move freely. No? So, from T1 to T3, pwede siyang mag-jump. Pero, it's a big requirement if the teacher intend to, of course, no, be reclassified into a next career stage. Meaning, for example, from a beginning up to highly proficient. So medyo matindi-tinding requirement yon, no? Aside from manifestation that you already possess the competencies required under highly proficient, kindly take note na meron tayo qualification standards and then may mga performance requirements tayo na attached to or aligned with the PPST requirements of being a proficient and a highly proficient. No? So kailangan na ma-manifest mo at na-demonstrate mo and that you're using that tool. No, that you are manifesting a highly proficient. But at the technical rule, there's a possibility that the 3 salary grades limitation will not be applied. But, yun nga po, no, as I've mentioned, medyo matinding requirements for you to move na nasa, halimbawa, beginning or sa proficient ka into distinguished, for example, which is MT5. So, it's a big leap, no? It's not just a leap of faith, but it's a leap of, kumbaga, competencies required and manifested or demonstrated by the teacher. So, ang kalaban ngayon ng mga guro, hindi yung kapwa nila guro, but ang mga sarili nila. How far a teacher would like to go, no, in the career ladder. So, ganyan yung essence and the beauty of the career progression.
ayan Ma'am
Subject
Cecil.
to, oo,
Dahil sa
subject
sinabi,
to some reclass guidelines. Okay?
okay. Eto Ma'am Cecil, dahil sa sinabi niyo po, napaisip po ako yung bang, alam niyo ba yung kanta ni Diana Ross na do you know where you're going to? Do you like the things that life is showing you? Where are you going to? Do you know? Parang ganun yan eh. Anyway, Ma'am Cecil, while we recognize that this new system of career progression will really benefit our teachers in general, we also notice that our head teachers will be retitled to the equivalent teacher master teacher item. Ano po bang ibig sabihin nito na para sa ating mga existing head teachers po, both in the elementary at saka secondary levels po?
Okay, that's a very good question, no? Kasi yan din yung mga worries po ng ating mga kasamang head teacher in the department. But, yun nga, as you observe po, no, our head teachers will be retitled to a comparable teacher position, no, within teacher 4 to 7, no, according to their salary grade. So there will be no salary diminution, no, but they will remain the same wherever they are. So anong ibig sabihin nito, Sir Paulo, is that of course, since some of them, especially in the secondary, good that they are performing po no teacher function, but kindly take note, they are not using po the RPMS PPST tools yet. No? So therefore, they need to have a teaching load and therefore, they need to demonstrate po yung competencies and meet yung performance requirements. But don't worry, because ito pong mga guro po natin, for example, secondary, kailangan po sila and we will prioritize them to be promoted, especially at the level of master teacher. That's for the secondary. And then, yun naman pong ating mga head teacher in the elementary who's performing already school head, no? Or the school head and or the principal, sila po talaga yung ipaprioritize din po natin na ma-promote into principal, no? So provided for all these no head teachers, both elementary and secondary, provided that they show proof and demonstrated that indeed po no namimit nila yung highly proficient career stage required and prescribed po under our professional standards for teachers. So yun po yung plano natin sila. They will be prioritized provided they demonstrate po no the necessary competency or the required competency for that position po na kanila pong ikapopromote. So yun po.
Ayan, thank you Ma'am Cecil. Partner, may karagdagang katanungan ka dyan?
Yes, partner. Parang meron tayong mga follow-up question dito. Unang-una para ata to kay Ma'am Chanda, kung hindi ako nagkakamali. Now, kung tama yung pagkakaintindi ko with the reclassification or reclass as the sole basis of promotion, ano na po ba ang mangyayari doon sa mga items kung kunyari, these items will be vacated due to retirement, resignation, or wag naman sana due to death po, ma'am?
Ayan. Maraming salamat po, Attorney Rada, for that question. Yung mga items po natin, kapag ka po sila ay, halimbawa, si teacher po ay na-separate from service, no? Either nag-retire, nag-resign, no? So definitely, these items will be vacant, will be deemed vacant. So, ang gagawin po natin, yung mga items na yun will be abolished. Therefore, wala pong pwedeng mag-apply doon sa position na yon na bakante. The funds for that position will be added, kumbaga, to augment the reclass budget for the following year. So kung ako po si teacher na teacher 3, no? Tapos may nabakanting position, for example, na teacher 5, that item, that fund for the teacher 5 position will be added to the reclass budget for the following year. So, kung ako po si teacher 3 na nag-i-aim sana for teacher 5 position, I will strive po to get promoted through reclass, hindi na po through natural vacancy. So, we are advocating po talaga na ang kalaban ni teacher ay yung sarili niya at hindi yung kapwa guro niya po, no? So, ito po yung beauty naman of the reclass po as the sole means of promotion. Salamat po.
Ayan, thank you Ma'am Chanda. Ito naman po isang hirit pa kay Ma'am Cecil. Nasabi po kanina Ma'am Cecil na with this career progression scheme, yung teachers 1 to 7 will be in the classroom. Tama po ba? Since the head teachers' positions will be aligned to a single line career path to teaching positions. Halimbawa po yung head teacher 1 will be retitled as teacher 4, yung head teacher 2 naman as teacher 5, o yung head teacher 3 as teacher 6, etc. Does this mean po that these head teachers will now be given teaching loads. Tama po ba, Ma'am Cecil?
Um, to be straight about it, yes po, sir. Kailangan po nilang magkaroon ng teaching loads, no? Because that is our only measurement right now for them to showcase, no? For them to showcase that they possesses and manifest, no, yung competency required under PPST. So kailangan po talaga nila. I think this is one of the enabling mechanism that we'll be doing, no. But for others, they viewed it as parang downgrade in terms of their no position. But ang sinasabi po natin, if tayo po ay magaling na guro, regardless of our position, no, um, kailangan po talaga nating maipakita ito through this, yun nga po, ano, by giving them teaching loads and for them to showcase what they already possesses. So, yun po yung ating magiging strategy for this one. But, depende po yan, sir, no, kung whether what head teacher sila. As I've mentioned po, no, for head teacher in the secondary, yun po, no, they are acting as department heads, no, subject head unit, ganyan. So, sila po ay bibigyan po ng teaching load. But, for those school heads po na nandoon na po sa ating elementary and acting as a school head, no, in the absence of a principal item, iba po din yung approach nila, natin para sa kanila. So, sila po talaga ay ipa-prioritize din po, no, para actually to move to the principal or the administration track. In fact, po, no, they will be prioritized in the upcoming national qualification examination for school heads, yun atin pong mga head teachers in preparation for this career progression.
Ayan, thank you, Ma'am Cecil. Partner, may huling hirit ka pa. Yes, Ma'am Cecil?
Apo, and I think Sir Paolo Chanda would like to add something to that question as well, no? Response to
Ma'am
that
Chanda.
question.
Yes po.
Yes, thank you po, Ma'am Cecil. Idadagdag ko lang ano po. The reason why we wanted to retitle the position no of head teachers to the equivalent salary grade in the single line career path. The reason for advocating a single line career path is to really rationalize the career path of our teachers. Kung makikita niyo po dun sa presentation ni Yusek Willie kanina, ang gusto natin, bibigyan natin ng option ang teacher na makapamili between classroom teaching and school administration only by the time they reach Master Teacher 1 position. At bakit po ganun, no? In our PPST, no, sa ating PPST, ang Master Teacher 1 ay expected to model highly proficient teaching practice, and at the same time they are also expected to coach, to mentor our teachers. At yun po yung mga gusto nating i-promote to specialized teachers or to school admin positions. So that is the reason po kung bakit natin nira-rationalize yung ating career path ng teachers into the single line career path. Salamat po, Sir Paulo, for the opportunity for additional answer. Thank you po.
Ayan, wala naman po, Ma'am Chanda. Partner, may huling hirit ka pa ba dyan?
Yes, partner. Meron akong huling hirit para kay Ma'am Cecil. Pero bago yan, partner, itong mga kasama ko dito sa legal unit, diba sabi ko kanina, retirement, resignation, or wag naman sana death. Sabi nila, uy, may nakalimutan ka. Wag naman sana dismissal from service. Meron pa palang isang mode of separation from service. Anyway po, Ma'am Cecil, with this career progression scheme, what is going to happen to the head teacher items or sa mga head teachers natin from head teacher 1 to 4 who are managing schools right now? Ibabalik po ba natin sila sa classroom para magturo?
Okay, as a general rule and as I've mentioned po, no, iba yung approach natin when it comes to the head teacher items. Performing managerial or managing the schools already. Though, plantilla-wise, they will be retitled, no, in the inception of the career progression. But tutulungan, at sabi ko nga, tutulungan natin sila at ipaprioritize natin sila na yun po no ma-promote to the next higher stage. Meaning ano yung next higher stage? Either they need to go or they want to go MT1 or they do the halimbawa the principal track. But yung shortcut
Ayan, parang naano yata yung signal ni Ma'am Cecil. Ma'am Chan?
Sir Paulo, opo, na-cut po si Ma'am Cecil, no? As mentioned po ni Ma'am Cecil kanina, we will be prioritizing our head teacher positions, no? For them to be promoted to either the academic track or to the school administration track. Aside from that, no, actually po sa ngayon nag-uusap-usap na kami with NEAP na dapat sa level pa lang ng teacher 4, teacher 5, teacher 6, teacher 7, binibigyan na rin po sila ng professional development that is anchored on the PPSSH or ating professional standards for school heads to already prepare them to for the school administration career track. And sa totoo lang po, hindi na po mahihirapan itong ating mga head teachers kasi they are already doing the job, no, of being a head of a department or a head of a school. So hindi na po sila mahihirapan to get promoted to either master teacher 1 or principal 1 or master teacher or principal 1 position. So ayun po, sir.
Ayan, thank you, Ma'am
Thank you
Sandra. Alam niyo po, Ma'am Chanda, marami pa po sana tayong mga katanungan pero medyo kapos na po tayo sa oras. Bilang panghuling katanungan na lang po, Ma'am Chanda, at saka kay Ma'am Cecil, what advice can you give po to our teachers in DepEd Region 10 as they strive for professional development and career advancement? Unahin na po namin kayo, Ma'am Chanda. Ano po yung pieces of advice niyo po at saka mensahe na rin po?
Opo. Maraming salamat po. No? Yung departamento po natin ay talagang seryoso sa ating advocacy of sulong edukalidad, no? Sabi nga po doon ni Yusek Willie sa kanyang presentation, sulong edukalidad, gurong dekalidad. So, kami po sa Central Office ay talagang masigapit din sa pag-set up ng ating mga mekanismo, ng ating mga polisiya for the career advancement of our teachers. But ang siguro ang mahihiling lang namin sa mga teachers natin, lalo na sa Region 10, is for you to take your careers and your professional development seriously, no? Talagang isabuhay na natin itong ating professional standards for teachers kasi ito na po talaga yung ating basihan ng ating career po, no? Hindi lang sa DepEd, kahit lumipat kayo sa private schools, later on magiging PPST based na rin po sila. So, ang hiling lang po namin ay talagang intindihin, isabuhay yung ating PPST at have that consciousness, no, to really strive for excellence and professional development. Kasi yun naman po yung gusto natin, no, na walang gurong magre-retire ng teacher 1. So hindi po natin ito magagawa sa DepEd kung ang guro mismo ay hindi nag-a-apply for promotion, no. So yun po, sana ipakita natin ito sa actual performance. We enroll sa ating mga professional development programs na ibibigay ng NEAP and later on participate in the reclassification process ng HRMPS. So ayun po, maraming salamat po Sir Paulo and Attorney Rada.
Yan, thank you, Ma'am Chanda. At Ma'am Cecil naman po, ano po ang may papayo niyo po at mensahe po para sa ating mga guro dito sa Kagawaran ng Edukasyon ng Rehiyon 10 po, Ma'am Cecil?
Okay, thank you po no Sir Paulo and Attorney Rada. Apologies as I got disconnected a while ago. Siguro po ang mensahe ko para po sa ating mga kasamang guro sa Kagawaran ng Edukasyon is that isa-summarize ko siya, tinatawag ko siyang 3 R's, no? So kung may 3 R's, 3R. No? So first one is yung what we call recognition, no? Recognize, no? And then the second R is to reflect, no? And then the third one is like to become relevant, no? So relevant, recognize, reflect, and relevance. Okay, so sa recognize, no, while inilalatag po ng Kagawaran ng Edukasyon, and this is a product of a study on how we can best improve yung tinatawag nating career growth in the Department of Education. As mentioned by Yusek Willie, proven sa study na talagang mabagal, mabagal yung career growth. So while inilalatag po ng Kagawaran, ni-revisit yung proseso, it's a two-way process, meaning for our teachers, as mentioned by Chanda, we need to recognize that there will now be a change in process of application for promotion, process of a lot of things when it comes to our career growth. Second, there's a need for us to recognize the change, that we need to change and recognize yung mga bagay na kailangan nating i-improve sa ating mga sarili. Kasi yan po talaga yung kailangang matutunan ng ating mga guro. Accept our weakness, and then maximize yung strength na meron po tayo. So that's for recognition. Second is yung reflect, for our teachers to reflect na what needs to be improved, sa aking sarili, and at the same time, ito, Sir Paolo, medyo controversial na. Yung sinasabi nila na yung performance rating daw, so, di ba, subject to favoritism, etc., etc. But, tayo bilang guro, it's our responsibility to ensure na yung rating natin, that the performance rating that we are during our classroom observation is really translating, translating to our teaching practice para sa ating mga estudyante. So yan yung, kumbaga, yan yung talagang total value. Reflect on our practice, whether they are or we are delivering yung quality teaching practice to our students. So yan yung for reflection part. And then, yun nga po, reflect on your strengths, so maximize it, and reflect ano yung kailangan mo pang i-improve to get better each day. So that's for the reflection. And siguro sa dulo na lang is yung tinatawag nating relevance. If we don't change today, the way how we think, the way how we value our career in the department, and the way we value yung ating worth in the department, that we are honing the future of this country. So yun lang yung making ourselves relevant, and at the same time, para hindi po tayo maging obsolete. So meaning accepting all of this change, recognizing that we need to get better, and at the same time reflecting to our teaching practice. So I think yan po yung essence of and something that you as a teacher po can contribute to yourself alongside with this career progression. So in a nutshell, while sabi ko nga, it's a two-way process. The department provides for the operational mechanism of this career progression, but at the same time, you as a teacher has a responsibility to look for your personal and professional career growth while in the Department of Education. So siguro, Sir Paulo, yun lang yung aking mga last comment and advice to our teachers, and we are really hoping po that this career progression will really addresses po yung motivation side of our teachers for them to get better and really to of course perform the duty that they are bound to, and that is yung responsibility po nila para sa ating mga bata. Sabi nga nila, #para sa bayan, #para sa bata. So yun po siguro, Sir Paulo and Attorney Rada. Thank you.
Ayan, very well said po, Ma'am Cecil. Ma'am Cecil at saka Ma'am Chanda, marami pong salamat. Definitely, this will not be the last, promise po. Ayan. So muli po, maraming salamat kay Regional Director Wilfredo E. Cabral ng DepEd NCR, Officer in Charge, Office of the Undersecretary, Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development or BHROD. Partner?
At maraming salamat din kay Ms. Cecil Anyayahan, Project Development Officer 5 of DepEd Central Office, BHROD, HRDD. At thank you din po kay Ms. Ruby Sanda J. Project Development Officer 3, Career Progression System Focal Person, also of Central Office, HRDD. Maraming salamat.
Ayan, at bago tayo magpatuloy muli, partner, shout out muna tayo sa ating mga viewers. Ayan po, medyo marami-rami po sila. Direct, please po, pakiano naman yung ano, para, ayan, oo. Some more, ayan, from, kanino ba yan? Kay Cheryl Pakibo Valduhuesa. Good morning po, watching from Oroquieta City. Maraming salamat po. From Demi Octubre, good morning. From Pulot National High School. At mula naman po kay Rosemary Hambre, still watching from Felipe Carrion Central School. Thank you po. And from Madel T. Magaliano, good morning, watching from Consolacion Elementary School. And from Don Kevin Hill Plazos, ayan, watching from Silae Elementary School, Division of Malaybalay City. Partner.
Yes, partner. We also say good morning to Miss Jennifer Lambekit. Melanie Cross is also watching from MIS. And nakikita ko ba, Gina Revelo Mejorada. Good morning, watching from Baybay Kulasihan Elementary School, Division of Lanao del Norte. We also say good morning to Jadida Salcalabe, still watching from Bakayawan Primary School, Munay District, also from Lanao del Norte. And we also say good morning to Amay Supsi, maayong buntag sa tanan, watching from Baning Elementary School, SDO Lanao del Norte. And we have, ayun, meron pa ba tayong babasahin?
Tanong ko lang kay Direct Partner, kung nandyan ba si Kadeped Kaloy, wala siya ngayon, ano? Wala, ayan. So, eto, siguro Direct, diretso na tayo sa ating DepEd News 10 updates. Ayan, sige. Para sa ating mga DepEd News 10 updates mula sa ating mga division. Ito po.
And now for the headlines. DepEd Malaybalay hosts private schools conference.
The private schools have been considered as one of the hardest hit establishments during the time of the pandemic. In the first ever Malaybalay City Division Private Schools Conference, Private Schools Coordinator and Education Program Specialist 2 for Monitoring and Evaluation, Ms. Gladys J. Dublas, along with Malaybalay City Division team, extended assistance to the private schools, highlighted by the presence of Mr. Renante Noel M. Pilahio, Regional Education Program Supervisor, and Mirna M. Fantunaldem, along with division counterparts, shed light on the issues and concerns of the 37 private schools present. In the message shared by the Schools Division Superintendent, Ma'am Victoria V. Gazo, she stressed the division's commitment to be of assistance to the private schools in the division.
And I hope that before the end of this conference, we'll be able to talk to each other closely. You will be able to raise your questions, raise your challenges, so that we will know how to help you. And we will be working together more in order to deliver quality education in Malaybalay City.
For BigaTEN DepEd, this is Rio G.R. Butante, Division Information Officer, saying, "We fly high in Malaybalay."
The expanded limited implementation of the face-to-face learning modality have started for the first 18 schools of the division of Misamis Occidental.
After a series of on-site validation and technical assistance provided by the School Governance and Operations Division together with the Curriculum Implementation Division, the 18 schools have now started their first 2 weeks of the face-to-face learning modality in the new normal, which started last March 7, 2022.
We are very happy that we received the school safety seal at last. God gave us our dream. And this is the very thing that we are longing for. For all the preparations that we have done, the school preparations, the instructional preparations, and community preparations are not so easy tasks to prepare.
The validators made sure that all 18 schools are not only physically ready, but they are also academically prepared for the new normal setup in their respective classes.
Our kids kids also are very much excited to go to school. In fact, at 6:30 in the morning, they are already here. So we teachers, the staff of Ozamis Integrated School, we're so excited for 2 years of not coming to school. The kids are so happy and they are so eager enough to participate in the learning activities.
Para sa BigaTEN DepEd 10, this is your Cadet Kendra from the division of Misamis Occidental, where everyone is vital.
Mayong adlaw, bayan sa Roqueta, probinsya sa Misamis Occidental. Para sa atong Project NOAA update, atong dawaton si Dr. Maria Joy Tan Ago.
Gandao, Sandalta. Today, March 7, 2022, DepEd Oroqueta City conducts the office convocation in face-to-face, abiding the health and safety protocols of the IATF. Highlights of the convocation is the division kickoff of the Women's Month celebration with the theme, We Make Change Work for Women, and its sub-theme, Agenda ng Kababaihan Tungo sa Kaunlaran. During the program, a poem composed and recited by Glenn Lumoctos, Adas from Accounting Office, dedicated that poem to all women. And fascinating bracelets made of fresh flowers are distributed to all the ladies in attendance. Para sa BigaTEN DepEd 10 o sa Project NOAA update, this is Ka-DepEd Maria Joy Tan Ago saying, Kay sa Oroqueta, bata ang biga. Gral palad-palad, ligam tingita, dumasik pinanabi, sig magbabadya.
Ayan, mga ka-DepEd, maraming salamat po sa ating DepEd News 10 correspondent, si Mr. Rio G. Arbotante mula sa Sangay ng Lungsod, Malaybalay, Ellen Kendra Dampor mula sa Sangay ng Lungsod, Misamis Occidental, at kay Maria Joy Tan Agot mula naman sa Sangay ng Lungsod, Oroqueta para sa DepEd News 10.
Ayan po mga ka-DepEd, para sa ating BigaTendance, the Department of Education started its 3-day orientation yesterday on the Results Performance Management System PP or Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers RPMS PPST for school year 2021-2022. The series of orientation sessions provide guidelines on the performance management and appraisal of teachers using the remaining 18 indicators in their RPMS. Catch the live stream of the series on the official Facebook page, YouTube channel, and website of DepEd Philippines today and tomorrow. For more details on RPMS PPST, please read DepEd Memorandum Number 4, Series of 2022. Partner?
Yes, partner. Also, the Department of Education, together with Microsoft, is inviting everyone to join DepEd's Inclusion and Accessibility Week 2022 this coming April 4 to 8, 2022. Now, this week-long event aims to promote equal learning opportunities and innovations for the students, teachers, parents, and school administrators to reach their full potential and attain positive learning outcomes. Now, you can catch the live stream via Microsoft Teams live event or here on the official Facebook page of DepEd Philippines.
Ayan, thank you, partner. And as per DepEd Memorandum Number 17, Series of 2022, in preparation for the upcoming class opening, The early registration nationwide for school year 2022-2023 will be from March 25 to April 30. Kaya, register na mga ka-DepEd.
Yes, partner, now as stipulated in DepEd Order number 3, Series 2018, or the Basic Education Policy, all incoming kindergarten, also grades 1, 7, and 11 learners in all public elementary and secondary schools shall pre-register to allow the department to make necessary preparations and adjustment of plans for the upcoming school year. Now, grades 2, 6, 8, 10 and 12 learners are considered pre-registered and need not participate in the early registration. Now, private schools are also encouraged to conduct their early registration activities on the same time frame.
Ayan, thank you very much. Ayan po mga ka-DepEd Rada. Finally, we say thank you to the following for making every episode of BigaTEN DepEd 10 possible. Of course, our Regional Director, Dr. Arturo B. Bayocat Cesar III, our Assistant Regional Director, Dr. Victor G. De Gracia Jr. Cesar V.
We would also like to thank our featured guests from DepEd Central Office for this morning's episode through the coordination of the Human Resource Development Division, or the HRDD. We would like to thank the Regional Director, Wilfredo E. Cabral of DepEd NCR, who is also the officer in charge of the Office of the Undersecretary for Bureau of Human Resource and Organizational Development, or the BHROD. Thank you also to Ms. Cecil A. Anyayahan, Project Development Officer 5.
That's right. And we also thank Ms. Ruby Chanda J. Crisostomo, Project Development Officer 3 and Career Professional System Focal Person. And we also would like to thank our DIOs, Rio G. Agotante from the Division of Malaybalay City, DIO Ellen Kendro Dampur from the Division of Misamis Occidental, and DIO Maria Joy Tanagot from the Division of Oroquieta City for the DepEd News 10 updates.
At partner, wag nating kalimutan pasalamatan ang ating mga sarili, and also thank you to our very own BigaTEN DepEd Creative Force. Partner, maraming salamat. Ka-DepEd Kaloy, asa man ka, daghang salamat. Also, thank you to our directors, Ralph Simon L. Mabulay, Fatima E. Villaremo, and Clifford B. Liponhay.
That's right. And thank you too for the support coming from the staff of the Office of the Regional Director, Ma'am Julie Estrella and Annabel Baculio. And of course, ating partner palagi si Sir Elson Hamero and Team Camigin for the BigaTEN DepEd 10 jingle. Sir Nick Panares, as usual, for his generosity in helping us facilitate or account for the use of the StreamYard platform.
Yes, Sir Elson, unya na takatubagon kay nag-text sa partner. Nakalimot siya nga live pa ta. Anyway, thank you also to our DepEd Regional Office 10 family. Thank you to the 14 schools division offices, to all our DepEd 10 schools, and thank you to all our stakeholders. Thank you sa lahat ng ating mga ka-DepEd, sa lahat ng nanood sa programa natin ngayon, and of course, partner, thank you to our learners, the heart of DepEd Region 10. Maraming salamat po.
That's right. And partner, mga ka-DepEd, kita-kits sa sunod simana para sa lain na usab ka edisyon sa BigaTEN DepEd 10, kauban ang Field Technical Assistance Division. Let's make BigaTEN DepEd 10 or Houston habit. Ug dinhi natapos ang atong ika-42 nga edisyon sa BigaTEN DepEd 10 Season 3. Ako si Ramon Gonzalez Abrera aka ka-DepEd Paulo, ang inyong Public Affairs Unit Lead Officer. Taliwala sa mga pagsulay, ang among pag-alagad kanunay.
Ug ako sab si Candice Racoma, ang inyong rakista abogada aka ka-DepEd Rada, usab nagaingon sa DepEd Amihan ng Mindanao, nagkahiusang pag-alagad, nagpatibabaw. Sa gihapon, kami ang inyong kauban,
Kasaligan.
kadangpan,
Siyempre, ka-DepEd, hangtod sa sunod higayon, kini ang
BigaTEN DepEd 10.
DepEd 10.
Asin to.
Atin to.
Just so you no matter